Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. What is going on? Happy Monday. Hopefully, you guys had a great day. If you didn't, that's too bad. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you guys had a great day. And if you didn't, let me know. Obviously, if we're talking about trading, if you're talking about anything else, I am not a licensed therapist. All right. So, got a couple things to go over here. We're going to let everybody kind of accumulate here inside of the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, let's see. Posted here, PotterStocks. All right. I think there we go. You guys hear me okay? Sound check here. Make sure you guys can hear me all right. Dude, this guy is absolutely a garbage trader. That is ridiculous, man. How did that guy get that platform? All right, sorry. All right, so let's let's go ahead and get it popping. Go over some news here. I guess whoever gets here gets here. But let's go ahead and let's get into the day. So first of all, we saw the S&P making a slight recovery here up to the upside, 0.69%. Nice little break out of that box. We talked about that this morning. That's where we needed to see it. We got the majority of that gap fill towards the end of the day. NASDAQ, we saw it up 0.76%. Kiddos, I love you. Good night. It's okay. It's all good. Kids are going night-night. You guys should be going night-night. No, just kidding. So, couple things here. Still smoking with a little bit of a bear flag there. But we saw the Russell up 0.81% and the Dow Jones up 0.119% to the upside. So quick recap here over some of the top headlines. So in economic news, I don't know why I broke that word up. U.S. economic news, we saw the NAHB index showed home builder sentiment falling for the ninth straight month. More than 25% of builders have lowered price as the rates surge. Additionally, Home Flippers Open Door lost money on 42% of its August resales on demand slumped, and Zillow said that the home values declined for the second straight month in August. Federal Aviation Administration rejected a proposal to half the hours required to become a co-pilot while flight delays are an issue. I think we'd agree more training is better. I don't like that. And whoever proposed that needs to, they should have their license removed. In individual stock news, saw Bluebird Bio received the FDA approval. The new stock 3M gene therapy. The company broke previous pricing record, though the stock actually ended up falling 10% today. Keep your eyes peeled on things like that. Ford shares fell about 5% after us, following a warning that it will incur an extra $1 billion in supply chain cost during the third quarter. Let's see here. We saw Nikola, right? This is actually not a headline, but just something that feels good for me. I told you guys this was going to be a little bit of a loose-ended live. But it just fell. And there's nothing to it. It fell to its lows. Its previous lows where it belongs, and we're heading to pink sheets. So Nikola to death. Anyway, so so a couple things here. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and bypass that one. We're gonna not take a look at that one. All right. So actually, with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it be, but we're going to go ahead and move forward to the Forex Factory. Take a look at what we got going on tomorrow, September 20th. building permits, housing starts 8:30 p.m. So by the time the bell rings, that data will be mulled on. Next day, right, which is most important today, is we could see either we see a release, right, and they prop it up, or we don't want to too much bias, but we want to make sure that we're aware that this could keep us in range. Okay, so that being said, I don't know who wrote that. That's hilarious. Sorry, I'd never seen that before. All right, so anyway, today, if you didn't trade with us live on YouTube, yeah, Nicola, you heard his feelings. You didn't see any of my questions at Discord. What was that, Brian Algarel? So Brian likes me, or he thinks like I'm one of his inspirations, or something like that. I appreciate that as much as that, as far as that can go. But at the end of the day, I found some very eerie similarities. I voiced my opinion, and then I separated myself. And since I've done that, I've done very little interacting. And since then, unfortunately, there's been a little bit of a back and forth. I feel like he's like very amateur. I'm sure there's some good points, but a lot of the things that he was saying were replicative of what I was exactly like verbatim, which is fine if you're teaching, but not if you're just using the same verbiage, basically not even rewording what I'm saying, but just bleh, So I had a little bit of an issue. Named his simple stack, or his Discord stacks. My simple stack, or my Discord is simple stacks. So I thought it was a little weird. But at the end of the day, who really gives a shit? So yeah. So it is what it is. What it is. Anyway, so moving forward, today we saw an excellent trade on Tesla. So this one ended up giving and I don't know if anybody was able to take this with us. If you didn't take this trade with us live this morning, this was one of those trades where and really I missed my entry, but I was able to still get another solid entry. If anybody traded with us today, Ellie, during this area of consolidation, I'm going to briefly cover this, but if anybody was trading live on YouTube or Discord, Ellie actually hotkeyed me into 310 calls, tried to press the buttons on my hotkeys, and I tried to stop her. But regardless, she ended up putting me into about I think it was a little over $2,000 position, but it ended up going. It was actually a solid entry, so she was wanting to go to Universal. But anyway, we had a beautiful setup this morning, guys. We had probably what looked like a bear flag for most people, pulling back, right? Back down to that trend line, back down to not only just the trend line, but let's see here. So if we take a look at Tesla, right, we can see a whole lot of respect around this 927, 928 level. Not only that, right, because that's only a round of or a bit of a median here, but we've got this right here, this little pocket. So this little pocket right here, we ended up closing a candle directly above it, right? And so that signified the rest of that gap fill, but also keeping in mind that we're in trend. This was an excellent trade, round 30 to 40. Some of those contracts ended up topping around 60%. But at the end of the day, really good trade for those 305 strikes if you took those with me. Tomorrow, as far as Tesla is concerned, guys, every morning you guys see me do the same thing. I'm looking for the box, right? Where's the box? Where do things fall, right? Where do things recover? And where are sellers and where are buyers? So right now, we're currently, and we can just, and this is kind of how you can adjust this. We're currently right here, right? So here's the deal, all right? We're going to keep this really simple. I hope. 1 second. Yep. That's 313. Yeah. So we've got a couple different things we want to look for here. And number one, yeah, okay, so that's that 50% mark right there. All right, so what we have, right, is we basically have this zone above us, all right, this right here, and that's where we basically tapped up against. Now, we're running out of steam, and we're losing a little bit of juice on our way up, right? This is not indicative. This is a bullish, right? This is very choppy. This is selling into pops, right? And so one of the reasons why I've kind of changed, not even changed it, but shifted my sentiment, is simply because there is so much selling that is happening in after hours, especially in after hours, that it's a little bit like, okay, there's a lot of selling into pops, and a lot of the times that selling pressure will exhaust buyers. And that's essentially what I'm looking at here is if we don't see another, and I'm actually going to be looking for a gap up tomorrow. So if we gap up tomorrow, that's it, right? Watch for a gap fill and watch for chop, because that's more than likely what we're going to get. But with that being said, this is the trend as of now. And I'm looking at the confluence around 312.50 for a potential move to the upside. And that's it. I'm not predicting that it just hits with a straight green bar, but I am looking at least that price gravitating towards around that level. But now that I'm talking short, right, and saying, okay, well, maybe, right, everybody's getting wrapped up in the bullish sentiment, they're going to get caught off guard. I'm not trying to get caught off guard, right? I know that it's where we have seen a ton of new lows, especially with tech stocks, semiconductor stocks. But with Tesla, right, it's been fighting to the upside. Every single day, you see it hold up against SPY pulls back, Tesla tries to hold itself up. So right now, candle close 15-minute above 909.36. You've got basically 310, right? And you tapped that today. Whether I know it didn't actually hit it, but you basically hit 310, right? So you hit that 310 mark. The median here is, just 311.75. So the risk to reward here to the upside will not end up playing out if the price action doesn't make it worth it, right? So if it's not worth it for us to trade just this little bit of move here to the upside, that depends on your strategy, right? But at some point, if we're going into FOMC, we could see a bit of a gap up, and we could actually see a flush and dump, right? So where do we identify? We need to look at this level right here. This is 308, right? Just barely holding above that right here. And after hours, you saw a decent little move. The next level that we're going to be paying attention to, and that's kind of like a median here, excuse me, and that's going to be the 306.50, 306.50, right? It is 306.56, just to be exact. But so that's Tesla's little area, right? This 305.25 and basically 308. Okay, so that's below you. You break out of that range, and I do expect very much to go pull back to 302. Now, let's not get it twisted. We also have to remember that Tesla has a pretty gnarly gap all the way down. So if Tesla ends up pulling back and breaking below $300, we're probably going to go back down to support, and more than likely we could see a gap fill here to the downside. So, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I had to mark something up. All right, so Tesla, Meta, absolute ass, not very good. Price action, doo-doo. Really setting up more of a bear flag here in after hours. But I did tell you guys today this one does have a wedge. The wedge did break, And most of the time, like we've discussed, wedges give you about a 50% reversal. This one's struggling to even give you a 25% reversal, but that 50% reversal is going to come right around 150.75. So that's meta. And after that, then we can look for the retest of 156.20 or 155.32. And that's really it for meta. I don't really have anything else until it makes a better move. There's no real updates other than it needs to do something quickly because I'm getting bored. I did notice, and I talked about this before. There is what appears to be kind of like this trend line here at the top. And that's not to say I'm not one to skip out on trend or anything like that. But this is a broadening channel. So I'm curious to see if we see a squeeze or if something ends up happening. So lots of alerts on top of meta, right? Anywhere above 149 and 150, we can definitely consider with good volume a potential squeeze to the upside. So, dude, this gin is good. A little strong though. A little extra strong. All right, so that's meta. If you guys, I know somebody's going to ask me about Baba, so let's go ahead and answer that question. Nip it in the bud. So what's up? Come here, bro. What's up? Ooh, come here. There you go. Look at that. Now you're sitting on my lap. So now you're not. So right now, wedge, right? Same thing as meta. 50% reversal to the upside. We're going to look at 88.18. I personally think that there's an 89.36 retest, but the floor, look at it. Look at it right here. You guys see it? Ah, right there, 88.25. So a candle close in that area could trigger, ouch, a potential move to the upside. But at the moment, just a bit of a falling wedge. Wedges can turn into channels. You guys saw that on Tesla today. Tesla had I think a lower time frame channel. I forget where it was. Yeah, it was right here. And we were built up against it, right? And we saw that dip down. You ended up retesting here. Clean that up a little bit. There you go. So right there, boing, retest off of that level. So pretty solid. But all right, that's it for me. If you guys are on here, there's 33 of you guys. If you guys want to go ahead and drop your request really quickly, we'll go ahead and take a look at it. And hopefully you guys, I've been trying to reiterate this. You guys need to know what your strategy is. If you have questions about that strategy, I can try and help you guys. But having a strategy picked out and charting the night before, setting up those zones, it's most important. A lot of the times, to especially if you're day trading, to set the zones nearest and closest above and below you, because those can be used as price targets. So SPY is the first one. So SPY yesterday, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think either let's go to extended hours, right? I really like to kind of check that out. I don't like that. That looks kind of sketchy. Okay, so number one, and normally I don't, I try not to put too much stock into this, but as you can see, we got a nice break up and out. There was a bit of a wedge here on SPY. It held its bottom, 382.20. You ended up consolidating. Look at that 50% mark. And then you end up breaking up and out, gap filling, and it looks like SPY is on its way. You have one retest here, and that's right around where you close. That's 390. The next retest will happen around 391.90 and 392.50. And that's where I think that you could actually start to see a bit of a squeeze, and we would see some decent moves to the upside. But otherwise, this is still, and again, you're not quite. Come here. What's up? But this one needs to make a definitive move into this range, into the above 390. So, but anyway, that's SPY. Obviously on the daily, I have this one potentially going lower. So I'm not calling for it now, but there is a potential here with the kind of setups that we've seen around the market. A lot of bearish, like little bearish setups. So it could be right here that you just got a solid retest. So if you fall back down into the 386.50 level, watch for a pullback. In fact, 386.55 would be exactly where I trigger my trade to the downside if I'm watching anything else. 384.75 would be the median, and then 382 would be the floor, and I imagine that you would make a new low after that. Let me double check this really quick. Yeah, you have a bit of a broadening wedge, so you could end up seeing a really fat dump tomorrow. I wonder if they do that in after hours. Or maybe they chop it up and you see like just a leg down here and then a bounce and you just finish with a doji, a couple dojis there. But anyway, that's SPY right here. Let's take a look at HD. So we go to the daily here. Not gonna lie, it's kind of nice not having 1,000 requests on TikTok. It gives me anxiety. All right, so that's kind of head and shoulder ish. I'm kind of a traditionalist when it comes to head and shoulders. It needs to be a little bit cleaner than that. But we got a clean level right there. Man, guys, if I end up having to shut this down, my kids are both unfortunately been fighting a cough really bad. So my daughter unfortunately has been coughing at the point where she's hurling. So I might have to break off to go and be with her if she's okay right now. Got medicine, all that good stuff, but she's coughing a little bit right now. So just a heads up here. So. So anyway, HD, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Ellie's back and forth. She's been sick and not sick, and she's trying, fighting. All right, so kind of like a little bit of a gravitation here. We see the 75% mark is obviously of importance here. We see a wick off of that, but mostly candles close here. So I would say that a weekly candle above 280, 292, even a daily candle above that with a solid retest, and you should see HD make a new, I would say, I think you could end up seeing a retest from there. I don't really like doing this. Maybe we can go with fibs, right? So it looks like 301.50. 301.50 would be an area that I would really want to see HD bounce if it was going to end up making any moves to the upside. I do notice right now. Okay, so we're going to erase that now that we've got that chart set up. And let's go and pull up our deviation, right? Because I see trend, but I don't know where resistance is. And I also, right, I want to make sure that I got this correct. A lot of the times, we got to make sure that. All right, so I see. Interesting. There it is. Perfect. Very good. Okay, so bounce median retest is going to be around 291.60. If you gap fill and hold that gap at 297.93, I would say that more than likely you actually have a chance to reverse, especially being that you have a trend from here to here. So that's HD. As far as levels, again, right here, that's 288.31. And this is 301.50. My kid too. I'm gonna go relax with her. Have a good night. Yeah, man. Go relax with your daughter. I'm probably gonna go cuddle with mine here in just a minute. Um, See if I can make her feel better. But she's doing okay. She was a lot worse earlier yesterday. So I gave her some of this jit. No, I'm just kidding. No, I took her, gave her some guaifesin and honey and all that other good stuff. So my kids actually like tea. It's kind of a very bougie thing for kids to like. All right, so anyway, let's keep moving here. We got a HD there. Disney, right? Dank Johnson. Ooh, you're right. It is touching the box. A little touchy touch. All right, so let's go to that hourly, and it looks like I don't know what the hell that is, but looks like the floor is 110, right? So you're barely touching it. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Okay? I don't think that we're done. But Disney, ooh wee. Oh my god. Disney somewhere under the rainbow. There we go. So, look at the confluence in this. Oh my gosh. 110. Send it. Send it. That's a candle close. Not 5 minute wick, but a nice 15-minute hourly candle close above that level. And 120 or 110.75 would be that level right above it that you would probably reject. Now, if you reject it and the candle closes underneath your floor, 110 or 109.80, then I would expect for Disney to head down to the gulag, probably into the 104.75 area, maybe even a bit lower. I mean, a dead drop would have you here, midday, right? Excuse me. Midday could have you a little bit lower than that, but yeah, you need to see a break and a move to the upside here. 1, 2, 1, 2. So pull back, right? Maybe 103, and then we see a little bit of a rip up, but very sketchy. Very sketchy. All right. Let's look at snow, George. How's it going, George Barudos? I definitely said that wrong. I don't need to ask dumb questions. All right. Snow. It's a double top. Kind of. Broke trend. We tracked that the other day. Right there, right? Look at the floor. You lose that level. 170. I'm starting to feel like we're going to fall back. So I would say that below 179.21, candle close, you increase the probability. Below 176 and 175 even, right? I would say 175 even. That's where you're going to have 167. Watch for the selling pressure and maybe even a little bit lower. But I would say 167 for sure. And that's obviously dependent on the trajectory, right? So if you bounce, or if you straight dump, then 164, 165. Based on looking at all these charts, what are the common themes that I see in them? I see a lot of selling. I see a lot of not super confident, low volume price action moves to the upside. That's what I see. And so the upside just doesn't look as confident as what the downside's kind of trying to accomplish right now. So right, sorry about that. All right, so, but the more sellers, the better the run to the upside. So, excuse me, guys. I'm fighting a little bit of a cough here. So we've got Snow. We've got Mullen. Oh, I didn't finish. I'm sorry. My bad, dude. So anyway, Snow right here, anywhere below 180.26. Watch for a pullback down to 169, 170. Otherwise, to the upside, and I'm going to be honest with you, this looks like hot dog water. Maybe you get one more pop up here. Watch for, I would say, 205. You got to move above 205. You got to have the juice to do so. So, all right. No, Mullen. Hello, we're gonna. I guess there's not a lot of people on here, so whatever. Mullen. Didn't I say this? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I said this. That's what I said. Um. So, just nothing. Garbage. Hot dog doo doo water. Coagulated hot dog water. This is the worst. I would never trade this before in my life. This is just the most horrendous thing I've ever seen in my life. So I don't really think technicals are doing anything, and really, and maybe because I've had a drink or something like that, maybe I'm not seeing it. But this looks just atrocious, and it looks like maybe you might end up getting a bounce at $37. But and maybe even a retest, but you've already seen a retest, so it looks like this one's on the way to the gulag. And I don't really have anything to offer you. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no targets to the downside, and you're falling. You got good volume on that pullback here. Psychological numbers at the best. So next one is Netflix. So very interesting price action. I actually got a lot of alerts in after hours. Seems like they're moving Netflix a lot in after hours. So interesting trade today. I was watching Netflix today, and it in pre-market seemed like it was trying to fake traders out to the upside, right? And that's kind of what I was observing. Right now, it looks like it's building this weird wedge, right? And so I basically have it, and it's really simple, right? We just need to see Netflix. I'd say we've got, yeah, so it's going to be 233.48, and I did that backwards, but 237.25. Those are going to be two levels to watch for Tesla or for Netflix to the downside. Otherwise, the gap has already been filled, and the only thing left to hit would be the 250 area, which, if you stay in trend, is entirely possible. So. So I'd say a candle close in that range, 230s. Should see some downside. All right. All right, so the next one we got is I'm gonna Rivian or I'm gonna look at Rivian and First Solar. Hello, we'll get to you in just a second. Since we've done one of yours. You all right, Ellie? Ellie, you okay, baby? Take that as a yes. So I think I did. I did. Listen, God, this is. She's just coughing. I was just concerned. Listen, did you know? I'm honestly, when I look at this chart, guys, I don't see anything else but just the most clear price action that one person could possibly ask for. So with Rivian, right? The floor is $38. We closed above that. Hey, you should go on Amazon. Never mind that. No, no, it's too late. It's all gone. No, no. So anyway, $40, right? Or excuse me, $38. Now notice where that candle closed, right? That candle closed after a nice pullback down to the $37 mark, closed up above at that control point of $38. So here's the deal. Anywhere above 38.80, I would be looking for a long up to the median, which is $40. And if you've got the juice, I would be looking for a move to $42, right? That's going to be the next level. And maybe inching just a little bit higher at 42.80, right? And that would complete this massive daily bear flag, which I will then short if the price action confirms it, because Rivian's, there's no way Rivian's at $40 right now. Sorry. Anyway, all right. So the next one we got is First Solar. I actually already did this chart here today. This chart, if you're long, just looks incredible. I mean, you've got a daily bull flag build right now. Daily candles are building up. Kind of like you saw here, but just a little bit more volume. Got a lot of red right here, a lot of buyers on First Solar. Weekly candles, you had a doji here, so it's going to be pretty important to get above that 140 mark. Otherwise, if there's no 140 cross, the more times you hit it, the more likely and the higher the increase percentage-wise of a potential rejection. So if that's the case, right, moving on or moving and looking at First Solar on this lower time frame, I did have First Solar with a trend here from the bottom right at August 22nd. This one has broken that trend ever so slightly. Kind of actually I could kind of clean that up a little bit, but it is barely trying to make a new high. So that's just trend. We don't really care unless we get confirmation. But we can also go look again at the previous high right here, pull it down, and there you guys can see we have a broadening wedge. So if First Solar dumps, watch for a fat dump on First Solar, probably below 133 and 131.25. You're looking for a pullback down to 127. So, all right, guys, my daughter's starting to cough kind of hard, kind of increasing in repetitions here. So she's cooling herself down, but I'm going to go ahead and start hopping back a little bit. So Richard, not a bad idea. 140 puts. Oh, damn, you win the money. That's not, no. So here's the deal, right? A candle open above 139.27 would definitely be indicative of a potential move to the upside. That's a candle open. So you're not too far away, right? And it would be, like I said, 139.27. So, all right, so let's look at INTC weekly. Hey, listen, every time I see this stuff happen, I'm like, you know what? Anytime someone tells me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, or YouTube or technical analysis is bullshit, I just remember shit like this. Like just seeing the price action right here at 28.60 as you approach that median, right? This median has no price targets. There's nothing here, right? But what we do have, and actually, no, that's right. So what we do have, right, is a nice touch of that median. So for INTC, right? Sorry, I thought I saw someone outside. So for INTC, right here and right here, right? Those are going to be two levels they're going to be watching for a potential move up, or that I would be looking for a potential move up. Now we can measure from the top to the bottom, and then take that 50% mark, right around there, and see a confluence, right? And it's a kind of shitty, but I would say 33.65. So that's that median. Sorry, just looking at something. You gave her that guafacin, right? Okay. Okay, so just for accuracy, I would say $32 would be a good retest level here. Not a problem, guys. All right, we'll look at Shopify here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys did watch this show or YouTube or whatever, if you guys have any social medias, if you guys don't remind resharing the link on Twitter, or whatever the case may be, that's very much appreciated. But please leave a like. It does actually help. It helps attract new viewers over time. So it is much appreciated. So. All right. So for Shopify, you're getting awfully close to a very strong confluence. I would say $34. $34 for shop based on this trend, right? And we'll clean this up just a little bit. So I would say really it's 33.50, 33.60, and above that is 34.45. If you open a candle above 34.45, I would imagine that you should be seeing a move up into that 35.60. So, and then possibly even just for a solid retest at 36.80. All right. So if you guys are on YouTube, you guys know the deal. If you guys want to join us in the Discord live early in the morning, you guys can sign up using the website. Otherwise, I'll alert on live, or that I'm going live probably around 8 o'clock, so you guys can catch me there. But I will be live early in the Discord, so if you guys have any requests, make sure to drop them there. But anyway, I appreciate you guys very much hanging out, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a night here. So you guys have a great one. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.